Welcome on into WFRV Plus Sports Night. Cameron's there with you on this Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, and, well, we're in the month of March, which means the madness of March. And I think everyone's very excited for when the NCAA tournament rolls around. But right now we are in conference tournament play, at least for the mid-major conferences, one of which being the Horizon League. The Green Bay men, the Green Bay women participating in the first rounds of their respective conferences, and the Green Bay women playing tonight at the time of recording of this WFRV Plus Sports Night. The women, I think, are currently up by almost 30 over Detroit Mercy. We expected that. A 19-0 run late there in the second quarter to propel this team most likely into the Horizon League semifinals. They're the top seeds. They avoid that play-in game into the semifinals down in Indianapolis. As for the men, though, they were in a three-way tie for third, and because of tiebreakers, they ended up being fifth, which is maybe the worst possible scenario they could have fallen into with this new playoff format, in which the semifinals aren't just the top four teams that then advance to the next round, because, based off of the changes, the top three teams in terms of seeding that advance past that first round are semifinalists, and the fourth and the fifth, because of the play-in game between the 10 and 11 seeds, they have to play an extra game in Indianapolis to then earn their spot in the semifinals. Now, the Green Bay men winning the other night over Purdue Fort Wayne. We'll get into situations and scenarios. It was just decided after all four of the other quarterfinal games wrapped up in the Horizon League on the men's side in the conference tournament. We'll get into who Green Bay will play and why. But before then, if you missed any of the Phoenix's win over Purdue Fort Wayne 64-56, a thrilling one that had GB up by a dozen at the break, and then the Mastodons cutting it within, I think, as close as three before Green Bay ultimately pulled it out. Well, no fret. We got Doug Gottlieb, Marcus Hall, who chatted postgame. Hall, of course, leading the team in scoring, as he has done for a good amount of his career, or at least has played a large impact in wins. He had 19 points that led the team. Here's Gottlieb and Hall after the victory the other night.
I'll go to start here real quick. I'm just incredibly proud of our group. You know, what do I got here on my lip?
Oh man, something right above your lip.
Is it gum?
Help you out.
Probably from the gum. Yeah.
This is the gum. You want to go? I stall.
I think you're right.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay. Just really proud of our group. You know, we are. If you look statistically, the weakness to our defense is defending three-point shot. And this is 2 games in a row, talking about Youngstown State and Fort Wayne, that we've defended the three exceptionally well. And I would credit them. You know, they're not a particularly good rebounding team, but they rebound the ball today. They're not really a zone team, but they gave us a couple different zone looks, which slowed us down a little bit. They had to play at our pace, and yet they were pretty effective with it. And, you know, this time of year, especially when you have guys that have had a disappointing season, sometimes teams will quit, and they didn't quit. So I would give them a ton of credit. On the other hand, to beat a team, a good team, well-coached team 3 times is getting to Indy is one thing. That's a great thing, but beating Fort Wayne 3 times is a huge thing for this group, and especially considering, you know, I'd say if you asked our guys, honestly, offensively, we did some things that were a little out of character, and the ball stuck a little bit, and we got kind of locked in on going one-on-one because it looks like there's gaps there because they're pressuring, but they recover because of their speed and quickness so well. But who cares? We won the game. We're going to Indianapolis, and I told the team before the game that we've earned this home court and we've earned the right to go to Indianapolis, but you have to go and earn it again. And Marcus obviously really carried us, especially in the first half offensively, and I thought led us, keeping me calm, keeping everybody calm when they put on a little run.
Doug, just to go to Indy, what does that do for this program? It's been a half decade since this program has even won a Horizon League game in the tournament.
I mean, it's gigantic. You know, it reaffirms that the regular season wasn't a fluke. You know, I mean, again, I feel like I could have been better. I blew Milwaukee. That's on me. I feel like Detroit, a lot of it, that's on me. I thought there's a couple other ones that got away from us, and we should have been in better position. But it doesn't matter what you're in this league. Like this league, literally everybody can beat everybody. We're all kind of the same at the end of the year. And to come from Saturday where we had not just a great defensive effort, but a lot of emotion, and then for a quick turnaround and for them to play hard and play well, and us to just figure it out, I think that's big. But to get to Indy means that the season wasn't a fluke, you know? I mean, think about it. Like I didn't allow myself the thought of us losing, but I was driving here going like, I don't even know what I'm going to do if our season's over tomorrow. Like, what the hell am I going to do with myself? So we've made zero plans of off-season, zero plans of anything, because this has been the primary and really only focus of this team is, in terms of our 7 goals, we didn't sweep Milwaukee, but we did beat them. We didn't win our preseason tournament or non-conference tournament, but we did, I thought, very, very well. We didn't win every home game. That was a goal. We didn't do that. But getting a home court was one of them, and getting to Indy was one of them. And so we're starting to accomplish goals. And the other thing is, I think we're getting better. I legitimately think we're getting better. I think this guy's getting better because he's figuring out different games call for different roles. And he won't say it, but, I mean, it's a hard thing in this league. There's 15 all-league players. Okay, Justin Allen should very easily be on there. Marcus Hall should very easily be on there. And what happens is you look down at scoring or whatever. Okay, but he's our backup point guard. He's our best or second best passer. You know, he's our best post scorer. He's our best three-point shooter. He's a calming influence, especially on me. He plays essentially every position, and he never complains. He's never complained once, not one single time, never. And he's probably going to complain when I'm done here. But, you know, again, you can't give it to everybody, but I do think he should have been under supreme consideration. It's just there's just a lot of good players in this league, and probably in a numbers game got cut up.
Marcus, for you to get to Indy, obviously in 23 you have all this momentum, and then the season goes downhill. Last year we all know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
To get to Indy with this program when you could have left, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my freshman year, the first year, like you were saying, like we had a bunch of momentum going into it, and some injuries hurt us, but I feel like we were all very confident that we were the best team in the league and that we were going to win the league championship. And losing the first game, it was like kind of a shell shock for me, like how hard it is to win. Not even in college, like I learned that the whole year, but especially in the tournament, it's just a different level of intensity. And I feel like everyone wants to play at home, but there's even a little bit more pressure on yourself that, like, I feel like a couple of us put on ourselves playing at home, like me, Preston, a couple people on the team live close to here and are from close to here. So I feel like that just makes us come out with a little more pressure on ourselves, but a little more intensity. Like I feel like you could probably see it tonight, especially with Preston. So it's huge for us, and we're just looking forward to going down and trying to win a league championship.
Marcus, I know that the goal is to win games, and you believe you can win games, but when you win 4 games last year, do you truly believe that the very next year you can win 18 and win a tournament game like you guys have done?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like I said, our first year we were very confident, especially in the postseason, and I kind of saw what it took to be good in this league, and I feel like for us especially, I feel like Coach would agree this year we put a huge emphasis on defense, and I feel like in this league that's important. I feel like there's no teams on offense that are that much better than you that you just can't guard them. Like you can guard everyone and everyone guards you. So I feel like defense was a huge emphasis this year, and seeing that grow in the preseason and even throughout the season, it just kept growing our confidence and just giving us confidence going into games, knowing that even if we don't play well on offense, like I think tonight we didn't even shoot that good.
No, 5-18 from 3.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what it takes, and we've just been growing our confidence all year with that.
I mean, I want you guys to think about this for a second, okay? So last year we were in any statistical category of the worst defensive teams in the country. And we were trending that way at times early in the year, and obviously I thought Campbell was a massive setback. They got hot, but it was really more our intensity. I felt like the guys were some of the guys were already on Christmas break mentally. And so when we brought them back, they weren't allowed to wear any of their gear in that leading up to the Fort Wayne practice. And how many points did they score at their place? Do you remember?
About the same as this one.
About the same.
I think it was
Yeah.
in the 50s.
High 50s.
I think it was 50s. So we held Fort Wayne in the 50s twice, and I think 60s last time. We held IU Indy to, was it 63? We held Youngstown, obviously, that might have been their season low. I mean, go and look, and the guys are really guarding. And, I credit Coach Gans and Coach Ground and Coach Rupp, who's more the architect of the zone that we throw in there sometimes, which screws some teams up. But, I mean, also just got to credit the guys. They've just locked in and decided, hey, we're going to guard. Because you're going to have games when you make shots, you miss shots. You're going to have games when offensively we're not figuring it out. But as long as we don't turn it over and we defend and we need to rebound a little bit better than we did today, I think, we give ourselves a chance. And then he missed one. I thought Justin missed one and CJ missed one. But outside of that, we're an excellent free throw shooting team. So again, you give yourself a chance. But this was a win based upon defense and toughness, and that's something that we just didn't have previous to this year.
When you don't go to the bench as much as other teams do, does that say a lot about the kids that are in the game at that moment to kind of grind throughout the whole game and come out with a win like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard. I mean, this time of year, Vukashin obviously easily could have played in this game. I thought Mo could have played in this game, but Mel was giving us such a lift with his length that sometimes you throw a guy out of rhythm. And Marcus was kind of carrying us, so he only got the break in the first half because he cut his finger. That's the only reason he was out. And then I was going to take him out and give him a little break end of the first half. They're like, no, he was out. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. We just try to keep it tight. And I thought LeBron gave us good minutes. I thought Ramel gave us good minutes. And sometimes you go and it's just hard to get guys going in short spurts. They're not professionals. They're college kids, and that's a hard thing to do. So I didn't think in the second half, it might have been a little bit of Vukashin time because he's so athletic as a big guy. But I just didn't feel like he was, it was fair to him because we hadn't been, or Mo, because they hadn't played in the first half.
You get choked up on the mic and the students are mobbing you. I guess, what goes through your mind in those moments?
I told Trevor this morning, everybody needs first of all, happy birthday to my brother, Greg. He's my older brother. And I mean this. He deserves to be a head coach in college, men's or women's. He's been doing it for over 30 years. And we had some hard conversations this summer. And he said, just kind of flippantly within a sentence, you failed last year, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what'd you say? It's like, well, you failed. And it hits you hard because, you sit there in your head and you make the excuses, well, if we didn't lose Anthony and if he didn't sprain his ankle against Providence, it was a 2-point game. And, you go through all the different things. And if we weren't on APR probation, but you failed. And you have to accept that you failed and figure out why and then get to work on fixing it. And so, what goes through my mind is this. Last year, the keys to us getting beat every game were we didn't rebound, we didn't defend, we turned the ball over too much. We were top 10 in the country in free throw shooting. We had great efficiency numbers when we didn't turn the ball over. Okay, but we didn't rebound, and so look at our numbers. And we're not an elite defensive team. We're not Houston or Iowa State, but I think we're the best defensive team in this league. We didn't rebound particularly well, but our defensive rebounding rate is actually the best in this league. We're second fewest turnovers in the league. So accepting failure, learning to fix it, accepting blame, and understanding that you have to hire a staff that can help teach the players, and then find guys that have only one agenda, and that's winning. And it was hard. And you can say we missed on a guy or hit on a guy or whatever, but, I don't think LeBron Thomas has played as much as we all thought he would play this year, but LeBron Thomas wants to win. We nailed that quotient. He just wants to win. He has, again, another guy, never complained. He never complained. He hasn't played in some games, never complained. everyone on this team, probably Marcus might be the only exception, but I mean, Wisconsin didn't recruit Marcus. I'm sure he'd love to play for, I mean, every Wisconsin kid loved to play for the Badgers. Everybody on this team has been told no plenty of times. And you can either use that to go away and think you're not good enough, or you can use that energy to fight back. And I chose to use the energy of the failure of last year, of all the times I've been told no, all of the negativity in social media and the media, including ESPN, where I worked for 10 years and had great friends and felt like there was unwarranted shots at me, and just got to work. And these guys come every day. They don't complain if they lift at 9 and we practice at 10, or if how long we go. Nobody's looking at the clock. They just come, go to work, and want to win. And what I was thinking was, holy crap. Like, what I told every recruit, and I told Marcus, I told there's plenty of guys, 2 guys on that team I said before turned us down. One wouldn't pick up the phone. The other one said, you got to pay me twice as much to play for you as I do for Fort Wayne. And I politely said, okay. But my message to every recruit was, you have 2 choices. You can be part of the best turnaround story in college basketball, or you can watch it on TV. And we did it. We frickin' did it. That's what I was thinking.
All good? Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
That's something we don't see often. Gottlieb freezing on screen, not saying a word. Come on. Doug Gottlieb's always got things to say, and it's always great things to say. My goodness. He's a reporter's dream. There's a reason that he has worked in the media for so long, and why we appreciate him in the media, and why the Green Bay community also appreciates him, leading them to the second round of the Horizon League tournament. First time they've advanced in the Horizon League tournament since 2020, and their fate awaits, or it awaited after tonight, of who they'd play. They needed at least 2 upsets in the Horizon League first round from the other games. They did not get them, only got 1 upset, meaning that Green Bay is one of the final, or one of those bottom 2 seeds, so they have to earn their way into the semifinals, and they will be playing Northern Kentucky at 2:30 Central Time on Sunday in Indianapolis for a chance to play in the semifinals. Okay, we're going to take a quick break here on WFRV Plus Sports Night. When we come back, the Green Bay women, they are also on to Indianapolis. They're heading to the Horizon League semifinals. They leapfrogged their way, just 2 wins away from back-to-back Horizon League championships. We'll kind of break down what happened in that Detroit Mercy game just tonight after the break. And we're back, WFRV Plus Sports Night. The Green Bay men punched their ticket to Indianapolis the other night. The Green Bay women doing the same tonight. 81-57 your final over at the Crest Event Center for Kayla Karius and company. And my goodness, does this team never leave a doubt at the Crest Center. I know they had that one slip up just a couple weeks ago for their only loss at the Crest Center, but his team, I mean, at the beginning, it didn't look too pretty. It was 25-23 in the second quarter. Then all of a sudden, there's a reason that this team has the Horizon League Player of the Year in Jenna Geyer, second-teamer Maddie Skrupski, third-teamer Megan Schultz, got others that could have been in consideration like Cammie Pepler and the rest of the squad. They go on a 19-0 run before Detroit Mercy then scores another bucket, gets sent to halftime. It's 44-25, and that was game, set, match as the Green Bay women dominate. 81-57, they're on to the Horizon League semifinals. You might be asking yourself, wait, both teams won, but the women are on to the semifinals. The men are on to the second round. What does that mean? Well, with the new format of the Horizon League Conference Tournament, there is a play-in game to see who decides it between the worst 2 teams in the league to who plays the 1 seed, meaning that there is an extra team involved. And for that reason, the format is set where the semifinals, which of course there's only 4 teams remaining, but there's 5 teams that advance to Indianapolis. So the bottom 2 seeds have to play each other to earn that final spot in the Horizon League semifinals, because the Green Bay women are the number 1 seed. they are automatically in that top 3 seed tier, right? Because there's no other seed that can be higher than them. But Green Bay, they're the 5th seed, meaning that they would need upsets ahead of them to be considered one of the top 3 seeds. There was only one upset tonight in the men's side of the bracket. So, yeah, but for the Green Bay women, another win, which surprises absolutely nobody in this game. Quite literally just finished up. I'm just going to pull up some stats right here. That 19-0 run kick-started by Jenna Geyer in her fantastic first half, the Horizon League Player of the Year, and then Maddie Skrupski. Gosh, did this team find a perfect replacement for Natalie McNeil? And that's very tough to do. But Skrupski was a second-team all-league player last year. Gets that same honor this year, but was on Oakland last year and Green Bay this year. As we pull up these stats, Green Bay led by, are we shocked? Jenna Geyer, 25 points. Horizon League Player of the Year for a reason. 10 of 18 from the field. She had 9 boards as well. My goodness. Maddie Skrupski, a triple-double for Maddie Skrupski. 12 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. That's incredible. You talk about 2 players that have revolutionized this team ever since Green Bay lost a majority of its group from last year. Gracie Gresh, Christina Ouimet providing great minutes off the bench. Megan Schultz, Carly Duffney, both in double figures as well. All starters almost in double figures. Cami Pepler had 9, but again, Jenna Geyer leading the way. No starts last year, and she has been the motor for the team this season. Most minutes, or second most minutes with 36, but 25 points on 10 of 18 shooting, 9 rebounds. But the story of it, wow, Maddie Skrupski, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, a triple-double to propel the Green Bay women back to Indianapolis for the Horizon League semifinals. Okay, we're going to take a break. One final one here on WFRV Plus Sports Night. When we come back, we're chatting more hoops next on the show. Time to wrap things up. WFRV Plus Sports Night. And what a day and night it was for basketball in the state of Wisconsin. Not only did the Green Bay men and the Green Bay women advance in their respective conference tournaments, but Marquette wrapped up its regular season. Same with Wisconsin. And Marquette dominating Providence on the road. Just absolutely, at one point it was 52-29. And this team, you could say they've just been disappointing all year. When 78-56, Adrian Stevens, one of the young Bucks, 8 of 12 shooting, 21 points. It was a dunk party for the Golden Eagles. And then the Wisconsin Badgers, a little bit of bad news, or at least in that final half toward the end, Nolan Winter, key returner from last year, starting center, looks like he rolled his ankle. So you're going to have to monitor that as Wisconsin gets into conference tournament play next week. They got about a week off, which is nice, but still that's something to monitor. But on senior night, Wisconsin dominating Minnesota, and this team has a whole lot of momentum going into not just the conference tournament, but they're a lock for March Madness. Marquette, not so much, right? 11-19 on the season, but gosh, is this Wisconsin team, from a defensive perspective, they've really turned things around, and that's largely thanks to a guy that deserved his standing O after hitting his last bucket in the Kohl Center, Nick Boyd. Just the energy that he brings, and yes, John Blackwell, his prolific ability to score, but something about Boyd and the energy that he exudes, the energy he loves to play with, that has turned this Wisconsin team from they might not be the toughest in the country to they can contend as the toughest and with the toughest in the country. And I think Nick Boyd is arguably a top 10 point guard in the country. You could even argue higher than that with how good he's been at scoring the basketball, not just his defense, but it's a player with experience, went all the way to the Final Four with FAU, then went to San Diego State, a team that made the national championship the year prior. And now you talk about leading a Big Ten team into March Madness. He's got the March experience. He knows how to carry. And I'm not trying to bloviate about this team's chances in March, because I think it all depends on the momentum they pick up during the conference tournament. But There's a lot that can be said about how Wisconsin's turned things around. And if they can keep their 3-point shooting up and the defense stays staunch, because the last couple of weeks, their losses have been because the defense can't hunker down. I have a lot of confidence in Wisconsin basketball, largely because Nick Boyd and what he's brought to this team from both an offensive and defensive perspective out of the transfer portal. Okay, that's all the time we have here on WFRV Plus Sports Night. We will see you tomorrow on Thursday. Thanks so much for tuning in.